You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zac Blackerby. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. And we're joined today by the one and only Charlie 5, Auburn message board legend. How are you?
Booging hard today, Zach. My booging's hard.
I love that. I love that. The holidays are right around the corner, and finding the perfect gift is tricky. Omaha Steaks makes it easy to send friends and family an unforgettable gift guaranteed to be loved. Go to omahasteaks.com and enter college into the search bar to order the perfect gift package today. So, Brent Venables was the co-offensive coordinator at Clemson. He has been hired as the head coach.
Right.
Defense with the Oklahoma Sooners. Yeah. Defense. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Accountability is important here. But really what matters here is his comments at his press conference, which is wild. I mean, he was one of like the 30 players that Auburn supposedly talked to searching for Brian Harsin, right, last year.
Yep.
So this is from AL.com. This is AL.com's story. And I'm just going to read. Okay. About a month ago, Venable said he was in his daughter's room one night saying prayers before bed when she asked him why he didn't take the Auburn job last December. Venable said, quote, I had made, this is his quote from the presser, quote, I had made references that I was a little bit nervous. I really didn't think we had the alignment there that we have here at Oklahoma. So I was a little bit nervous, and I said I was scared for her.
Ouch.
What is that? What? What does that mean?
That is, Zach, so, you know, it's always been, anytime anybody ever talks about it, it's always conspiracy theory. It's always self-deprecating, Auburn fan, whatever. That right there, my friends, is the definition of Jabba. Just Auburn being Auburn. We're so dysfunctional. We're so not on the same page that we literally scare college coaches away.
So what do you think that actually means, though, Charlie 5? What do you think that means in regards to, okay, I'm interested in this job enough to talk to them.
Yeah.
And, they're dysfunctional. Like, how does, like, what's the actual, like, practice of what that looks like?
What that means to me is that last year during the coaching search, there was a lot of guys trying to play hero and go out and get their own coach. A lot of guys out there offering the job that did not have the authority or the power to offer the job. And that's why you see the Bill Clark offers, the Billy Napier offers, the Brent Venables, and all these different players trying to get their say because we're not all on the same page. And
you mean players as far as people wanting to be
players, people with money.
Yeah,
people that with money that want to be the big dog, want to be the alpha. That all these different guys are going out talking to guys, different coaches, and it's when it gets to the point where it's like, okay, I may be interested. And I've been told that Brent Venables actually came to Auburn to interview, and once he got there, I don't think the job was really 100% offered to him from Auburn outside of just like some booster or a couple of boosters that wanted to make it happen. So when he gets there and he sees, okay, I don't even really know if I have the athletic director on board. I'm just talking to, random guys that are trying to be the hero. This kind of scares me. People aren't on the same page here. I think that's clearly, that is clearly what he's referring to here.
Why do you think he needed to bring that up? He's accepting another job, and he's been on head coaching short lists for forever, it seems, for years.
Yes.
And, okay, whenever a major job opens up, he's, top 5. And
right.
I just think that's odd that, okay, he finally takes the jump, and it's a great jump. I think that's a great jump. Good for him. I think it was worth him waiting his time to do that. But why does he need to bring that up? And I'm just trying to picture this story, right? I mean, we both have daughters, right? Yours is a little older than mine. Based on the context of this story, yours is probably a similar age to what Brent Venables is here. But according to this, you know, they're saying their prayers before she's going to bed, and she's like, "Dad, why didn't you take the Auburn job?" Like, that's just a weird. Like, why are you telling that story to us?
If I had to guess, if I had to guess, I would say this: he's building up the job he just took, praising the people that offered him the job, how they're all on the same page, everybody's on the same page. And you're so on the same page. Let me tell you what actually is out there. Why I didn't take other jobs. Why I was waiting for this one, because I had offers like this.
Okay.
Or that.
This was worth waiting for. This is worth waiting for. This is the finish line. Yeah. Okay. I get that.
Exactly. I mean, that's just my guess, my take on it. I mean, it is kind of random to throw that out there, but if you put it into that context, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I get that. Okay.
And Auburn's going to be should be a rival. West. I would assume that Oklahoma's going to be in the West. That could be if they do pods or divisions. You know, that could be a divisional opponent. So
they'll be recruiting against each other in the conference. So yeah, that's a good point too.
Hey, this team's not on this. You know, they don't have their stuff together. So
yeah, this team interviewed with me. I interviewed with them, and it just didn't work out. Okay, I get that. That's a great point. If that's what he's doing, props to him. Honestly, forward thinking that much. Venables, okay, all right. Who wins in a fight, Brent Venables or Brian Harsin?
No, Brian Harsin would.
Not even close.
Brent Venables looks like a living skeleton. He looks like a living skeleton.
John Neighbors, the host of Locked On Razorbacks, he posted a picture of Brent Venables holding a football, and the caption that he put was, "I really loved him in Spider-Man when Brent Venables played the Green Goblin."
He does look like William Dafoe. That's a good point. He has a Dafoe look to him. He has a Dafoe look to him. I think it's the sunken eyes, but anyway.
Yeah, anyway. I think you're right.
Good hire though. I think he'll do okay there.
Hey, I want to talk about the order and the structure of the athletics program in just a moment, but hey, today's show brought to you by our friends at Boost Mobile. You listen to podcasts for the power of the inside track. You switch to Boost Mobile for the power of saving money. Get 3 unlimited data lines for $30 a month per line and a free 5G phone when you switch, so you can have the latest sports news, all on one of America's largest 5G networks. More power to save. Boost Mobile. Disclaimer, free phone limited to new customers and 1 per line. Additional restrictions apply. Offers and coverage not available everywhere or for all phones or networks. See boostmobile.com for details. Also, Charlie 5 Today Show brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is one of your favorites. You were just, is your hot streak still rolling? You still making money off of these guys?
We cooled off for a little bit, and we hit a big one. We hit a big one last night, so we're good to go.
Okay, good deal. Did you do anything for the SEC championship with Prize Picks?
I didn't, because I was too busy trying not to watch the game at all. Because I was
fair enough.
It was like watching train wreck. So
fair enough. But hey, Prize Picks is the leader in daily college sports fantasy. We love those guys. PrizePicks.com. And be sure to use promo code Locked On when you make a deposit match of up to $100. You'll get 100% match there. Don't hesitate. Check out PrizePicks.com. Use promo code Locked On or go to your app store to download the app today. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. So you and I went to sit down with the folks behind Auburn's NIL structure.
Yes.
Monday afternoon. We're recording this Monday evening. And it was an incredible, eye-opening experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We've been asking the question, why is Auburn not all over this NIL stuff? And I kind of got the vibe that Auburn was behind on this. That is not true. Auburn is, based on conversations that we had today, way ahead of the game.
Yes. And about to be. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, Auburn NIL is about to change how fans can support and purchase goods and services from Auburn athletes. And it's going to change. It's going to change the game.
As much as the first segment we talked about the dysfunction and the non-unity, I guess, as much as we talked about that before, today's meeting helped me to, I guess, see that it's starting to kind of, maybe people are realizing it, and it's starting to come together. I want to make a quick little point really quick.
Please do.
The Iron Bowl visitor list. Let's talk about that for a second. Okay. We've never had that good of a visitor list for a good Iron Bowl. When I say good Iron Bowl, I mean one that's, 3 or 4 point spread, 2 ranked teams, West on the line. We've never had that good of a list. Okay. And all of a sudden, these names are starting to come out of nowhere. These higher recruited targets that were not on the rate, I guess not on the radar, but maybe felt like they're out of reach. And these guys show up for this game in droves, and you're starting to see a lot of momentum pick up in recruiting. And,
right, and you saw reports coming out, Charlie 5 is like, oh, well, they're just going so they can watch Alabama. That's the only reason
done that.
The Iron Bowl. It's like, what?
Never done that before. Never, ever before. Never, ever before has there been that list of guys. And I think after today's meeting, a large part of that is Auburn sort of getting their act together, and this Auburn NIL program is going to be awesome. And I think signing day could be a blast. I think it could be a blast. We could have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think this NIL thing is crazy, and I think Auburn is understanding it more than the other teams because no other team is doing this yet.
Right.
And so the gist of it is they're getting every Auburn athlete under one roof, essentially. And it sounds like the baseball team is done. The basketball team is all under contract almost. And then they're working on football just because of the time. And there's so many guys and there's kind of more going on there. But before long, and I'm thinking within 45 days, Auburn fans they're going to be able to subscribe to a service and become buyers and receive things on a monthly basis, whether it's autographs, whether it's players creating specific content for you at different price points. And the price point that you pay goes directly towards funding these athletes on a month-to-month basis. And you're going to be able to, my understanding of this, Charlie 5, is you're going to be able to earmark the funds, whether it's for a specific sport, whether it's for a specific position group. If you want your $50 to $100 to $250 a month as a fan, if you want to give that to Auburn's defensive line fund, that's going to be something. And in exchange, you will receive the goods and services, whether it's social media recognition from players or phone calls, depending on what level you're at, or you're going to get autographs sent to you on a monthly basis. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be really, really cool. And I think we're just a few weeks away from it.
Oh yeah. It's going to be, we're very close. And the average that feels disconnected from the program is going to be able to feel like they have an impact. And you know what, guys, there's no excuse. There's no excuse anymore. Auburn may not have always had the biggest network to make things happen behind the scenes before NIL became a thing, but now there's no excuse anymore. There's no excuse anymore. So the Jimmies and Joes, the average Joe guy, like you and I, we have an opportunity to impact this Auburn football program. We have an opportunity to impact any sport at Auburn through this program. And I'm jacked to learn more about it, to see it in action. And I think we're already going to see hopefully some of the benefits down the road, not right now, obviously, but like down the road after signing day, when maybe we get some of these kids on campus. I think you're going to start to see a lot of momentum pick up, and it should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun.
There's just too many dudes with National Signing Day being 8 days away from when this pod goes up. It's the 15th, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it'll be 8 days away.
Well, yeah, the 15th.
And so it's going to be crazy. I mean, it's just odd to me how many committed dudes keep coming back to Auburn over the last few weeks. I think that says something.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to be honest, Charlie Five, I've been rolling my eyes at the whole, oh, well, this coaching staff is going to pull it all together and they're going to have a massive day on early signing day. I've just been rolling my eyes at it. But we've seen writers say it. We've been seeing, Auburn fans say it. And we've kind of been seeing, like Damari Alston, who's essentially the lead recruiter now, Auburn's future running back. Yeah. We've been seeing all these folks say this, and I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But after these conversations today, yeah, I think it happens. I think you're right. I think this could be a top 15 class in a few weeks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All these guys that have come out of nowhere lately, I think you're going to start seeing some action happen big time. There could be some guys that not only guys that are this year, but next year's class, which is extremely deep, especially in the state of Alabama. The chips are going to start falling. The pieces are going to start falling into place. And I think it's going to make a huge, huge impact, especially for the football program moving forward.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Hey, today's show brought to you by our good friends at Omaha Steaks. Do you like fresh meat?
I love fresh meat.
Fresh meat's great. And high quality meat, can't beat it. Omaha Steaks is they're all about it. And we mentioned at the top of the show there, but holiday shopping can be stressful. Not with Omaha Steaks. I'm just going to get everybody I know Omaha Steaks. I think it's that easy. It's that easy. Go to omahasteaks.com, enter the word college into the search bar to receive the perfect gift package. For $99.99, you get 24 entrees. 24 entrees for $99.99. That's less than $100. Are you kidding me?
24 entrees.
Bacon wrap filet mignons, chicken breast, sides, desserts, and so much more. When you use the code COLLEGE, you'll also get 8 Omaha Steak burgers free. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Great order. This is a great order, a great deal. Achieved gift giving greatness with Omaha Steaks. Incredible flavor, incredible value, 100% guaranteed. omahasteaks.com, keyword college. Also, today's show brought to you by our friends at Frisky Whiskey.
Frisky Whiskey.
I went to Frisky Whiskey today. I gave them money, and in return, they gave me a high selection, a great experience, and I got a lot of whiskey from Frisky Whiskey. That's totally in the name. Not a lot of money at all. Actually, I spent a lot of money, but I got even more.
Your bang for your buck was there.
Yes. I felt good spending the money. I'm like, I'm ripping these guys off. And my wife, when she got home and she saw all the new whiskey all over the counter, she's like, did you go to Frisky Whiskey again? I said, yeah. She wasn't even mad because she knew I was responsible about it. You kidding me? So go to Frisky Whiskey. Yeah, if you're in the Auburn, Opelika County area, it's about 15 minutes or so right when you get into Georgia. Also, we got a lot of Georgia listeners. It's worth the drive. Absolutely. Just type in Frisky Whiskey in your phone's GPS and go check them out. Check them out. The positive momentum around early signing day, Charlie Five, has been pretty cool. And I don't know if it's just because my perspective just did a full 180 today or what.
Yeah. Yep.
But I think the combination of that and Auburn can have a great class and it doesn't fix a roster situation going into 2022. It doesn't fix anything yet.
Exactly.
You still have to dominate the transfer portal. And I think this NIL stuff will help if Auburn really has it together as much as we think they do based on, what happened today. But that to me is still the biggest story because you need instant impact guys. And there's just not a whole lot of freshmen that are going to make an instant impact at the level that you need them to. But I think Auburn needs a new corner to kind of go into the mix. I think they need at least 1 or 2 safeties and a guy that could also play that nickel role. I don't know what they do at linebacker. Because do you need 2 linebackers? We haven't even gotten to the offense yet. So, there's a ton of holes that they're going to have to fix instantly through the transfer portal.
No doubt. Hopefully, I think we've had a few, hints that Owen is probably going to come back. So that helps a little bit on the linebacker, but you still need a guy there. You definitely need at least 1 corner and 1 safety. I think we could be okay in the middle on the defensive line. You got to have some help at offensive tackle. And then you need at least one receiver. It looks like we're going to get Darius Clemens from Oregon. He's a freshman. Wide receiver is a position that freshmen can come in. We've seen it and be able to be an impact. And this kid is 6'4", 215 and can run like a deer. He's a freak of nature, and he could come in, and I think he'll be able to start immediately. So with him, another year of Kobe getting better, and then maybe you get a portal guy like a Tyrese Chambers or the other kid from Oklahoma that didn't go to Arkansas. I forget his name. It's like
not Hazelwood.
Yeah, the non Jaden Hazelwood guy. You get a guy like that coupled with Darius Clemens, Kobe Hudson. There's talk that Shanker he could be a super senior. He could have another year.
Oh gosh, that would be huge.
Need that. You could have some weapons. I think Tank's pretty locked in to stay in. There's a few pieces that you could have that I believe this NIL thing can really help with. And you could be pretty competitive next year, I think, with a tough schedule.
So I've started doing this thing on Auburn Wire every morning where I'm putting up 5 transfers that could be potential Auburn targets. Yes. No reporting here, but just things that kind of make sense. And one of them is a kid named Mike Wyman. He's a receiver at South Carolina, former 4-star guy. And he enrolled in January, and then he transferred a few months later in July. I don't know all of the story that goes on with that, but you've got talented dudes like this that haven't even played. There are just so many dudes in this transfer portal where Auburn can get a guy. But the thing that Auburn needs, and this is tough, Auburn, I said this yesterday with Lindsay. I don't know if you listened to the show with him or not, but I made the comment, like, Auburn has a bunch of number 2 and number 3 guys.
Need some number ones.
They need a number 1. And I don't know if you're going to get a number 1 in the transfer portal. I don't know. So that's my biggest concern. And there's a lot of hype about Clemens, the high school kid out of Oregon that I think Auburn's going to get too, just because of the crystal ball drama, which what a disaster by Miami, by the way. But I just kind of, can he be a number 1? I don't think year 1 he can be. What's the best freshman receiving season for Auburn that you can remember?
Oh gosh.
Is it keepers by default?
Freshman, I have a hard time remembering year 1 impacts. Like there was a JUCO, Ronnie Daniels was a JUCO guy and had a big, he was a junior. Freshman's tough, but you see it around the conference. George Pickens, any number of the Alabama guys that have had success their freshman year.
Don't do that, man. Why are you doing that?
It can happen. It definitely can happen. And I'll say this, and this is no, I can't say this without being a slight to some of the guys on the roster, but even if you are the number 1 at Auburn, what does that, even if you are the number 1, what does that really say? We're struggling there. We're struggling there.
Well, we wanted Demetrius Robertson to be number 1, and he wasn't. But can you imagine how much, if Auburn had a number 1 outside guy, how much it would help Kobe and how much it would help Shanker and how much it would help Javarius Johnson?
It would help big time.
It'd be crazy. It'd be huge. And then that trickles down to the running game. It takes stress off of your offensive line and your quarterback. That one dude could have so much of an impact. And I don't care if he gets 3 catches a game for, 50 yards. But I just think the trickle-down effect as far as impact, it would be huge. But is that guy out there? And I don't know if he is.
Right. And that's why, Theo Weiss is the guy that we were talking about from Oklahoma. Could he be the guy? He's got, big top end speed. Could it be a Tyrese Chambers, the guy from Florida International that averaged over 20 yards a catch? I think those guys are out there. I really do. And I really think you got to find them at the lower schools that want to move up. I think that to me makes the most sense. Unless it's a really good player who's disgruntled. Like for example, the Theo Weiss kid who he was upset that Lincoln Riley left. He's a good player. So he's transferring schools. Tyrese, there's a ton of dysfunction at Florida International. I feel like those kind of guys you can look at, but I really think if we really look at some of those possibly non-G5 schools, I'm sorry, the G5 schools, not the P5, the G5 schools of guys that are sophomores or sophomores or freshmen that had big freshman or sophomore years that they could definitely impact what we do. And people are talking behind, people are talking to players before they go in the portal. I mean,
no doubt. Yeah, the Hazelwood thing. It's like he went straight to Arkansas.
He didn't even visit Arkansas. Like, come on, we know. I know he did have a coach that went there, but still, he went to Arkansas, and I don't even know if he's ever even been. He may have gone there on some visits in high school.
He really likes Walmart. He really likes Walmart, and
they're big Walmart people.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's a guy named Christopher Mull switching sides. He played linebacker at UAB until this past season. They moved him to safety, but he was a part of their 2017 class. So he's kind of got he's an experienced guy, but we saw them go up to UAB to get Tony Fair a year ago. Yeah. And this is a guy that possibly could kind of fill some different spots for you. Maybe play that nickel role. If you want to kind of move Donovan Kaufman around. So that's, he's a former 2-star, but I think that's kind of what you're going to need. You're going to need guys that kind of slid under the radar for a little bit, and then they ended up being really solid college football players. This, to me, seems like a Harsin dude. So just once again, his name is Chris Paul at UAB. I really liked his game, what I saw today.
Tons of guys out there. Heck, there's a kid from Troy who had like 12 sacks last year. He's a redshirt freshman. Just late bloomer. Like,
I love that.
Let's go slide in those DMs. I mean, somebody go slide in those DMs and get him in the portal. I mean, there's players out there to be had, and there's no reason Auburn shouldn't benefit. And I think we are going to benefit big time.
Yeah, I hope so. Fingers crossed that no offensive coordinator news comes out, because I really need to watch the Patriots game tonight. So we will see what happens, and we'll address that on tomorrow's show. Charlie 5, how can people find you and hear you, all that good stuff?
Real quick, though, Flanagan, I think, came back to practice a little bit today in some capacity. So be on the lookout.
So I talked to someone about that. I'll turn the music off for a second. I've been told he's still not ready, but he's been at practice walking around and stuff. He just hasn't, like, he'll shoot and all, but he's not ready to run on it yet. That's what I was told today, actually.
Sure. But it's good to be back. Physical activity. That's big. He's a difference maker. You can follow me on Twitter at @the_Charlie_5. You can find me on auburnlive.com, message board, The Corner, or Auburn 247 Sports Body Get Aboard, or Monday through Friday, the Dad Bod Golf Pod. If you want to talk about golf, listen to golf.
And if you want more basketball, you can go back to Saturday's show. Charlie 5 and I hosted after the game on ESPN 106.7. We just put the whole broadcast up on the podcast feed.
Ton of fun.
And also Mondays at 6 o'clock, Zep Jasper joins the show each and every week. And so he had a lot of good stuff to say. And he actually talked a lot about the transfer portal again. He can talk from experience what all these guys are going through. So cool stuff. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Locked On Auburn.